Imagine for a moment the world as we know it ceasing to exist. Could humanity survive a post-apocalyptic world? Let's delve into the concept of post-apocalyptic scenarios, a theme that echoes through the annals of contemporary culture, particularly in the cinematic universe. It's an exploration of our collective anxieties and aspirations, a mirror reflecting our deepest fears and brightest hopes. Post-apocalyptic scenarios present a world where the pillars of civilization have crumbled. The structures and systems we've built, the technologies we've developed, the comforts we've grown accustomed to, all vanish. In their stead, we find a desolate landscape, a test of survival, a challenge to our very humanity. But what does this mean, really? At its core, a post-apocalyptic world is a paradox. It's the end, yes, but it's also a beginning. A chance to rebuild, to redefine, to rise from the ashes of the old world and create something new. It's a testament to our resilience, our adaptability, our will to survive even in the face of the greatest adversities. This theme has found a firm footing in our contemporary culture, especially in movies. Think of Mad Max, a world parched and desolate, where survival is a ruthless game and humanity is pushed to its limits. Or consider The Matrix, a post-apocalyptic cyberpunk reality where humanity is enslaved by machines, yet hope persists. These stories, while grim, are also tales of resilience, of defiance of humanity's indomitable spirit. Why are we so drawn to these narratives? Perhaps because they reflect our anxieties about the future. In an era where climate change, nuclear war, pandemics and AI pose real threats, post-apocalyptic scenarios seem not so far-fetched. But they also reflect our hopes, our belief in the human spirit, our conviction that even if the world ends, we would find a way to survive, to rebuild, to start anew. So, in the face of apocalypse, would we plummet into chaos or rise from the ashes? It's a question that lingers, a question that haunts, a question that perhaps only time will answer. Picture a world where resources are scarce, and survival is the only law. This is the world of Mad Max, a barren, desolate landscape where the remnants of humanity cling to existence amidst the ruins of a once thriving civilization. The Mad Max franchise presents a chilling post-apocalyptic scenario that's as captivating as it is terrifying. In this world, resources are not just valuable, they are life itself. Water, food, and especially fuel are worth more than gold and are fiercely fought over. The harsh living conditions have stripped away the veneer of civilization. There are no governments, no laws, and no order. Just the raw, primal struggle for survival. This might seem like a fantastical vision cooked up by Hollywood, but how far from reality is it? If we look at history, there are countless examples of societies collapsing due to a lack of resources. The Mayan civilization fell due to severe drought. The Roman Empire crumbled in part due to economic instability and resource depletion. Now imagine a global catastrophe that wipes out our infrastructure, disrupts our supply chains, and devastates our ecosystems. A world where the supermarkets are empty, the taps run dry, and the gas stations are out of fuel. Not so far-fetched now, is it? But it's not all doom and gloom. The world of Mad Max also shows the indomitable spirit of humanity. People band together, form communities, and find ingenious ways to survive. They adapt, they innovate, and they endure. In a world stripped of its comforts, the human spirit shines the brightest. So, while the world of Mad Max is a stark and grim vision of the future, it's also a testament to our resilience. It's a reminder that no matter how bleak things get, humans will find a way to survive. Not because it's easy, but because it's in our nature. We are, after all, the species that has survived ice ages, plagues and wars. In such a world, survival becomes an art. What if reality as we know it is just a simulation, a construct of artificial intelligence? Welcome to the world of the Matrix. In the dystopian future of the Matrix, the world as we know it has been reduced to a pile of rubble, and humans have been enslaved by machines. But here's the kicker. Most humans aren't even aware of their predicament. They're living out their lives in a simulated reality, a dream world created by artificial intelligence. This is a post-apocalyptic scenario unlike any other. Instead of battling physical hardships or scarce resources, The survivors of this apocalypse are in a fight against perception itself. They're pitted against a world that's been designed to deceive them, a world where nothing is as it seems. But how feasible is such a scenario? Could advances in artificial intelligence and virtual reality technology lead us to a world like the Matrix? Well, the answer is a bit complicated. On one hand, we're witnessing rapid advancements in AI that are blurring the line between the virtual and the real. On the other hand, the technology required to create a full-scale simulated reality is still far beyond our reach. Now, let's consider the implications of such a world. In the Matrix, the battle for survival isn't about finding food or shelter. It's about reclaiming one's mind from the clutches of the machines. It's about waking up to the harsh reality and choosing to fight against the oppressors. This depiction challenges our traditional notions of survival. In a world where reality is a construct, survival isn't about physical strength or resourcefulness. It's about mental resilience. It's about the ability to question, to doubt, and to seek the truth despite the illusions. So, what's the takeaway from this post-apocalyptic scenario? It's that reality isn't always what it appears to be. It's that even in the bleakest of circumstances, the human spirit can find a way to resist, to fight back, and to reclaim its freedom. In the post-apocalyptic world of the Matrix, reality is a matter of perception. From a deadly virus outbreak to nuclear fallouts, movies have presented us with a variety of post-apocalyptic scenarios. Let's dive into some other cinematic portrayals of the end of the world as we know it. Take I Am Legend, for instance, where a man-made virus wipes out most of humanity, leaving behind only a handful of survivors and hordes of monstrous virus-mutated beings. The movie showcases the lone struggle of a scientist, the last man in New York City, as he desperately searches for a cure while fighting off these creatures. While the scenario might seem outlandish, the concept of a deadly virus outbreak isn't beyond the realm of possibility, as recent global events have shown us. Next, we have The Road, a heart-wrenching tale of a father and son navigating a world devastated by an unspecified cataclysm. The movie paints a bleak picture of a world where food is scarce and trust in fellow humans even scarcer. The focus here is less on the cause of the apocalypse and more on the psychological and moral toll it takes on the survivors. It's a chilling reminder that in a post-apocalyptic world, the greatest threat might not be the disaster itself, but how we as humans respond to it. And then there's A Quiet Place, a unique take on the post-apocalyptic genre where alien creatures with hypersensitive hearing have taken over the planet. The surviving humans must live in complete silence or risk being hunted down. This movie emphasizes adaptability as a key survival strategy, as the characters modify every aspect of their lives to avoid making noise. While alien invasion might be a stretch, the movie's exploration of human ingenuity in the face of dire circumstances is very much grounded in reality. Each scenario presents a unique challenge to human survival. Whether it's a deadly virus, a mysterious cataclysm, or an alien invasion, these films underline the tenacity of the human spirit when faced with extreme adversity. They remind us that, even in the darkest of times, we have the ability to adapt, to persevere, and ultimately, to survive. In the face of apocalypse, one thing remains constant: the human will to survive. This innate force has driven us forward throughout history, from the bleakest of times to the pinnacle of human achievement. It's this indomitable spirit that we've explored through the lens of cinematic post-apocalyptic scenarios. In the world of Mad Max, we saw a society reverted to primal, survivalist norms, where the strong preyed on the weak and resources were more precious than gold. Yet, even in this brutal landscape, the human spirit shone through. People banded together, formed alliances, and fought tooth and nail to carve out a place for themselves amid the chaos. Then we journeyed into the cyberpunk reality of the Matrix. Here, the apocalypse was not born of resource scarcity, but of technological overreach. Humans were reduced to mere batteries for their machine overlords. Yet even in the face of such overwhelming odds, the will to survive persisted. A rebellion was born, nurtured by the belief in a better tomorrow, and the refusal to accept a world where humanity was nothing more than a power source. In our exploration of other cinematic post-apocalyptic scenarios, we saw a recurring theme. The human will to survive transcends the circumstances. Whether it's surviving a zombie outbreak, navigating a nuclear wasteland, or enduring an alien invasion, the human spirit remains unbroken. We adapt, we innovate, and we persevere. We learn to make fire in a world consumed by ice and find water in a land scorched by the sun. Whether we'd revert to the Stone Age or adapt to a new reality, the resilience and adaptability of humankind are what will ultimately define our survival. We may not know what the future holds, but one thing is certain. As long as there is a spark of life in us, we will fight to fan it into a flame. We are survivors. It's not just what we do, it's who we are. As we've journeyed through these post-apocalyptic scenarios, we've seen the indomitable spirit of humanity shine through even in the darkest of times. Now, it's time to carry this survivor spirit into our own lives. We may not be facing a world-ending event, but each of us confronts our own personal apocalypses every day. And just like the characters from Mad Max, Matrix, and countless other stories have the power to persevere, to adapt, and to overcome. But this journey is not one we have to take alone. Just like in these post-apocalyptic tales, banding together and forging connections can make the difference between survival and extinction. If you've enjoyed this journey, if you've been inspired by the survivor spirit, please like, comment, and share this video. Your engagement helps us continue creating content that explores these fascinating scenarios. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Let's learn from these stories, and let's carry the survivor spirit into our everyday lives. Remember, we are survivors. It's not just what we do, it's who we are.